Hugh Jackman returns for the final time as Wolverine. Here's my review of Logan. Hey guys, how are you? Logan is directed by James Mangold, who previously directed the last standalone movie in the Wolverine series, which was The Wolverine, which I thought was a pretty decent movie. Logan stars Hugh Jackman, who once again portrays the Wolverine, supposedly for the final time. He said publicly that this is going to be his last time playing the part of Wolverine. We'll see if that actually happens, because anything's possible in the movies these days, certainly when they're waving a big wad of cash in front of you. It also stars Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, and he is getting old. So is Wolverine. Wolverine is having problems with his health. He's healing a lot slower when he gets injured. He doesn't heal as quickly as he did in the earlier movies. The story is based on the Old Man Logan's stories from the comic, and it is loosely based on those. It's not an exact copy of the story. Logan is looking after Professor X, who has a degenerative brain disorder and is causing no end of problems for anyone who's in the vicinity of him if he has one of his seizures. He's also looked after by Caliban, played by Stephen Merchant, who does a fantastic job here. Professor X is communicating supposedly with a new mutant. Now the thing here, Wolverine doesn't believe this for a second, because there's been no new mutants that have been born naturally for years. And anyway, he doesn't give a crap. He's just interested in living his life, having a drink, and just getting on with it. He's had enough. He's at the end of his life, and he literally has totally had enough. So after a series of events, Logan ends up looking after a little girl called Laura, played by Daphne Keane. And this kid is absolutely hysterical. She's got the most primal stare. And she just doesn't speak for about half the movie. Eventually she does and starts babbling on in Spanish, and then it turns out that she can also speak English. So without getting into too many specifics, this kid turns out to be X-23, which is another mutant very much like Logan himself. So reluctantly, he and Professor X end up looking after this kid and go on a road trip across the country to get her to a safe place, because she's being hunted down by this guy with like a cyborg hand. Can't actually remember his name, very forgettable. But anyway, they're going cross country, and this movie is pretty much a road trip movie. It's actually quite a fun movie. The movie itself is shot absolutely beautifully here by James Mangold. It looks so barren, and it is just an awesome film to watch. It also kicks ass. This movie packs a punch. It's a sort of movie that we've been wanting from the sort of X-Men and Wolverine stories for some years now. This is brutal. I mean, he literally will slash and you see limbs flying, blood flying everywhere. This is absolutely a fantastic movie. I loved every single second of it. The storytelling itself is quite slow. The movie doesn't rush its way through the storyline, which is quite good in my opinion, because you actually get time to spend with these characters. Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier is absolutely fantastic. It's a portrayal of the character that we've never seen before, and it was surprising when Patrick Stewart starts effing and blinding. We've never seen Professor X talk like this before, but it actually worked within the movie. I wasn't sure when I saw excerpts of the movie before going to see it whether it would work, because it just didn't seem to ring true for the character of Professor X. But in the context of the movie, it absolutely works. The storytelling here is absolutely fantastic, and I loved it from the beginning to the end. It's the movie that Hugh Jackman deserved to end his tenure as Wolverine. This guy's been playing the same part of Wolverine for 20 years, with some good movies behind him, and some that weren't quite so good. X-Men Origins, anybody? In terms of performances, as I mentioned earlier, Hugh Jackman is absolutely brilliant in Wolverine. I cannot fault his performance one little bit. He knows this role back to front, inside out. Is absolutely perfect in the role, and it's good to see him in a state where he's old, he's had enough, and he's jaded. Patrick Stewart, as always, was absolutely fantastic, and it's nice to see him put a new spin on the performance of Professor X. It's absolutely brilliant in my opinion. And the little girl too is absolutely brilliant. For the first half of the movie, as I mentioned, she doesn't even talk, she just stares and grimaces at people. But when she actually does start talking, it is hilarious. The movie does have some really funny moments in it, and it has some really tender and character building moments in it as well, which I thought was brilliant. Watching this little girl and Wolverine get closer with each other and start to trust each other was really, really nice, and it has a really good payoff at the end of the movie after the events unfold and we see what is left. The movie looks absolutely fantastic. In terms of the direction, James Mangold does a fantastic job here, and it is edited really, really well. The music is good. It does get a little bit slow in places when they're building the characters, but essentially you do get a lot of action at the beginning, a lot of action towards the end, and in the middle They do spend a lot of time focusing on character, which is good. One scene I thought in particular which was hilarious is when they're in a gas station in the desert and the little girl's walking around the shop trying on sunglasses, opening bags of crisps, eating the crisp, and the guy at the petrol station asks her if she's going to pay for any of the stuff, and she tries to kill him. Absolutely fantastic. So all in all, I had an absolutely fantastic time watching Logan. It's the movie that Hugh Jackman certainly deserved to end his time as the Wolverine, and it gives you a few nice payoffs, and it's a very satisfying end to his portrayal of the character of Wolverine. I'm going to give Logan 4.5 out of 5. It's a very good movie, not perfect, very, very close, but nonetheless, I'm happy with the movie. I think it's an absolutely fantastic time. I think you're going to love it if you go and see it. And yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch these with me. While you're here, don't forget to leave in the comments below what you thought of the movie, what you think is the best of the X-Men or Wolverine movies on the whole. And yeah, I'll see you again really soon. Don't forget to hit that like button down there and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you really soon for another review. See you later. Bye.